What up, what up, what up? It is K.Honesty, and I'm about to review the Season 6 finale of Snowfall. This will be my last time reviewing Snowfall. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad. Like, this was one of my favorite shows, like easily one of my favorite shows. I'm going to miss talking about this show. I'm going to miss seeing Franklin spaz out. Like, damn. About to be the last time. This was a good finale, though. I was super surprised how it ended. This is the craziest finale. Oh yeah, we're going to get into it. So if you haven't seen the Season 6 finale of Snowfall, turn this video off. Go watch the episode and then come back and watch this video. And yeah, anything I say is my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. These are my thoughts and expressions and how I feel. And yeah, I'm not a public speaker, so I will tend to like stutter, pause, to gather my thoughts. I'll be over here looking at my notes. And I will be saying like 1,000 times. It is what it is. Not a public speaker. And yeah, got my water bottle. Yeah, let's go water. So yeah. Damn, I was about to say something else. Oh yeah, so yeah. If you haven't seen the Season 6 finale of Snowfall, turn this video off. It's my last chance telling you. Because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. I feel like, well, yeah, I always like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. This is the finale, baby, so I'm definitely gonna grade it an A+. I definitely loved the episode. It kind of threw me off how it ended, but it is what it is. So yeah, A+, A+, A+. The writers did their thing on this. R.I.P. to John Singleton. They gave him a little homage at the end, but we can get into it. Okay, so I'm so mad because when Snowfall came on, my phone was broke, so I couldn't write the notes in my notes on my phone. I had to write them down on the notepad again, like I was doing when I first started these reviews. So my notes for this show is on the goddamn notepad. But I got a new phone yesterday, so the rest of my shows from here on out, the reviews for those, I won't have to write no damn notes. Anyway, last chance. I done gave like 3 chances. I'm about to spoil the Season 6 finale of Snowfall. Alright, let's get into it. The first scene we get is right after Sissy shoots Teddy and surrenders herself. Franklin, he runs to like this bar. And I wanted to start off by saying this. This whole episode, Franklin made me nervous. It had me thinking, he just made me nervous. He was starting a lot of unnecessary beef, drama, and stuff with people. So it had me nervous, had me thinking a lot in this episode. So right after Sissy shoots Teddy, you know, she said goodbye to Franklin. Franklin run off. So he went to this bar. He immediately calls V, tells her what happened. He's like, I don't know why she did that. And he was like, we were so close. I don't know what happened. He was like, he was like, why would she say goodbye? And this, that, and third. So this whole episode, Franklin he's super agitated. And all he caring about is his money this episode. He really, really just caring about the money just at this point. Until he gets like towards the end. So he tells me like, yeah, Sissy shot Teddy did, da da da. And be like, oh no, you just need to come home. Like, be thankful that the deal went that way and you didn't end up down. Like they didn't end up setting you up and killing you or whatever. Which I kind of felt wasn't gonna happen since Franklin didn't bring Ruben to the when Teddy was calling to get the money. So I was like, they still kind of need Franklin alive as long as it's at least until they get Ruben, you know. So at this point, Franklin is so heated, like, I don't even know what to do at this point. Like, what can you do? Because last episode I was saying that I thought Habermeyer, the one that worked for the CIA, I thought he might have had the codes or whatever to get Franklin's money back. But I'm assuming that when he met with Teddy that episode and told Teddy, yeah, I can get you your job back, you just transfer the money. I'm assuming when he handed Teddy that piece of paper, it was probably like an account number or something that he wanted Teddy to send the money to. So now I'm like, Havemeyer, I guess he didn't have the access to the funds, to Franklin's funds. So I was like, at this point, Franklin, he ain't got no way to get that money back. He's sitting at the bar. He's so pissed. He's just staring off into space or whatever. And you know the thing about Franklin, he was like never a big drinker, never really did anything. That was like his thing. He always wanted to be like alert and things like that. So at this point, he's so upset or whatever. The bartender come over, ask him if he okay. The bartender give him a free shot. And Franklin takes the shot. So that's how you know Franklin is like, we're going to see a change in Franklin this episode. We're going to see a damn big-ass change. So speaking of Havemeyer, Franklin, he's still at the bar. He gets a page from Havemeyer. He calls Havemeyer. Before he gets to even say anything, Havemeyer get the, if you don't want to spend the rest of your life in prison, you're going to do exactly what I say right now. You understand, whatever? So Franklin trying to like tell him like, look, I didn't know Sissy was going to do that, this, that, and the third. Havemeyer ain't trying to hear that shit. He just immediately gives Franklin the location to drop off Ruben. He tells him the location. He says, you get out the car, you take Ruben out, drop him there, and you leave. So I don't remember what Franklin says in that moment, but Havemeyer was just like, repeat the location back to me. Franklin repeats the location back. Havemeyer was like, 1 hour and you come alone. So I'm like, oh snap, what is Franklin going to do with Ruben? Because Ruben, at this point, Ruben's his only leverage now. Like, that's the only leverage he got. So I'm like, is he really going to give his only leverage up? But I'm like, I don't know. He don't want that smoke with the CIA. I don't know. Now that Teddy dead. So Franklin, he's back at the safe house, warehouse, wherever they was holding Teddy and Ruben. So in this moment, I was like, because V asking him, like, what's wrong? Da, da, da. And I'm like, he just called you and told you what happened. Like, you should know what's wrong. So Franklin get that, I got to move Ruben. And she like, why? Like, what do you think? They going to be looking for him now. Teddy's dead. They definitely coming in after, like, what did you miss, V? I didn't understand that part. While she was asking him what was wrong or whatever. So at this point, he done ripped the bag. Franklin done ripped the little bag off of Ruben's head. Ruben, he asking Franklin, like, what happened to our deal? Da, da, da. Franklin, he tells Franklin, like, you can't trust the CIA. They gonna kill you if you try to, as soon as you come to drop me off, like to do the drop off for me, they gonna kill you. They know you're a liability. Which is true. Like, Ruben ain't lying. Like, it ain't that many people left. Like, I mean, even though Teddy wasn't with the CIA, he still was, like, affiliated. So it's not off to think that they would still come after them. That's why I said I think it's that's why I said I'm nervous for Sissy, because now she locked up, and it's like they might try to get her in prison. So I'm just like, Ruben not lying, but it's just like at the same time you can't trust Ruben. Look what he did to Avi. That's all I be saying. Like, when it comes to Ruben, I don't trust him because the way he did Avi, I was fucked up. I feel like he could have let Avi live. I don't know, but yeah, he tells Franklin, like, you can't trust the CIA. You're a liability. They gonna kill you as soon as you drop me off. Da, da, da. Franklin was tired of hearing Ruben talk, so he just knocked his ass out. So he's driving Ruben to the place that Havemeyer told him to drop Ruben off at. And the whole time he's driving, you can hear you can hear Ruben in the trunk, like, pleading, like, Franklin, don't do this, da, da, da. He gets to the spot, Franklin take him out the trunk, pulls him out, Ruben still pleading, like, come on, like, you don't know what they're going to do to me, da, 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 da. Because, you know, they know he homosexual. What do they? Well, yeah, Teddy told Havemeyer that he was, that Ruben was homosexual. So he's like, yeah, don't do this. He's like, you don't know what they're going to do to me, da, da, da. Franklin ain't listening to him. He drops him off. He hops in his car. And as he's driving away, of course, Ruben's still pleading or whatever. But you see these two men, they come to pick him up, assuming they CIA or Havemeyer's men or whatever. So I was like, in this moment, I was like, oh, shit. They about to hit at Franklin, but they ain't do nothing. So then we get to the scene that was really upsetting for me. It had me thinking something was going to go a different way, but it didn't. But it is what it is. So we get a quick little scene. Leon, he telling his little soldiers or whatever, like, we need to find a new connect. I don't know. I don't care who, what. where, how you got to get the connect. We need a new connect or whatever. So Franklin come in, and Leon little men leave. But I think a couple of them like stay behind. They like sitting in the background or whatever. So they didn't show Franklin telling Leon that Sissy was locked up. I don't know how he found out. I mean, he probably just found out because, you know, he Leon. But he tells Franklin in this moment, okay, I found out the prison that Sissy's at. He says he sent their lawyer. I guess they got like they all use the same lawyer named Prentice or something. He's like, I sent Prentice, but Sissy sent them away. And then Leon gets to that. I tried to talk. They won't even let me talk to her. Da-da-da. So, you know, Franklin, like I said, Franklin don't care about nothing but, like, getting his money this episode. Kind of sad. I mean, he was like I said, he was starting unnecessary stuff with everybody. So, in this moment, as Leon's telling Franklin about Sissy, Franklin was like, well, look, it ain't nothing we could do about her now. He was like, look, Leon, I need money. He was like, I need money. He was like, and I need more than that $500,000 that you gave me. Now, this little moment right here confused me because he said, I'm going to need more than that $500,000 that you gave me or whatever, that $250,000, whatever you gave me. So then he asked Leon how much you got left. Like, and in this moment, I'm in my head, like, he asking Leon, like, how much he got, like, left. Like, how much he got to his name type shit. So I'm just like, so Leon gets he says $3 million. So Franklin gets to lighten up, like, yes, that's what I'm talking about, da-da-da. So I'm like, okay, how's this conversation about to go? So he sits down to get like face-to-face with Leon. He gets to, look, I'm not expecting no handout. He was like, I'm going to just take that $500,000. And that's the part that confused me because he said, I'm going to just take that $500,000 and the $3 million that you got. So I was in my head like, I thought Leon already gave Franklin the $500,000. Like, I thought that was the money that he used to give to Gustavo. But I don't know, because in this moment he tells Leon, like, I'm going to need that $500,000 and I'm going to need that $3 million. He was like, what did he say after that? Child, don't get me started. I have no idea about real estate. I wrote a little bit of it down, kind of make, I don't know, whatever. But he tells Leon, like, I'm gonna sell you ownership in the sell an ownership stake to you in his little waterfront property, little Spring Street's property or whatever, to make Leon a partner. He says that to Leon. Then he says once construction is done and they start to get like a steady income, or what do you say? He said when they start to generate some cash, he could pay him at like a quarterly rate every 3 to 6 months, something like that. And he was like, or you could just wait till the building like so they refinance and they could what do you say? Wait till they refinance and he can buy them out. Like 5 or 10 times over than what he about to give him right now. That's what he's telling Leon or whatever. So after all that Franklin said, Leon says, let me ask you something. He says, why do you think Sissy did what she did? Leon ain't even listening to what Franklin just said. Well, I guess he heard him, but he was like, at the end of the day, let me tell you why I'm not about to give your ass this money. So he says, he said, why do you think Sissy did what she did? So Franklin get the, you know why, like she fucking snapped, like she lost her shit. Says, so Leon was like, I don't think that's what it was. So Franklin gets the, man, she killed Teddy in broad daylight, public view of over 100 people and in front of a CIA agent. Then he gets, you know, Franklin, when he gets in his mode, he get all amped up. He's like, while her fucking son was about to get $37 million. Because you don't like the way another nigga talk. I like when he get in this mode like that. It's like, Franklin, that's an interest. Like, Franklin, so damn fine. So, I know it ain't right, but I love how gangster he is. Like, when he get in this mode, that should be a turn on. I'll be like, it ain't right, but, you know, I don't want to be right. But, yeah, I like when Franklin get in this mode. So, he like, yeah, well, our son was about to get $37 million. So Leon was like, well, she sacrificed herself. What do you say? Yeah, she sacrificed herself to keep you safe, to keep all of us safe. In a way, it's kind of true because, like, her killing Teddy, it was like, okay, Teddy don't work for the CIA no more, so it's kind of like a cutoff there. They could just throw Teddy, like they could say they're not affiliated with Teddy type stuff. But also at the end of the day, it's still CIA. Even if they killed Teddy, even though Teddy wasn't with them, it's still like they still know all the players and stuff. Teddy was still reporting to Havermeyer, so I'm pretty sure Havermeyer was reporting back to the big bosses. So I'm pretty sure they still know and stuff. So killing Teddy was probably just like one thing, you know. But I get what Leon's saying. Like, she sacrificed herself for Franklin to keep us safe or whatever. So Franklin hops up. He asks the niggas behind him, like, do you niggas feel safe? Do you feel safe for Leon? He's like, because I don't feel fucking safe. So I was like, so Franklin, I don't know. I was just like, I love when Franklin get to yelling or whatever. So Leon says in this moment, he says, Sissy didn't want you to have that money, which is crazy. Like, I get it, but like, come on, 73 million, even 37 million. Like, people would do some wild stuff for that money. Franklin ain't been too off for the type of business that he in anyway, so, whatever. But he was like, Sissy didn't want you to have that money, so I'm not going to disrespect what she did by giving you something that she didn't want you to have. So that's what Franklin get the, are you fucking serious right now, Leon? You know how Franklin get. He's like, are you fucking for real right now? He said, after all I've done for you? Franklin, that's one thing about Franklin. He'll let your ass know, like, I got you here. He says he always like brings that up. That's one thing I'll say. He does that a lot. So he get the, after all I've done for you, he said, you gonna sit there with a life raft and watch me drown? So he get the chuckle, like diabolical chuckle that Franklin be doing. He's like, he looks around the room to the niggas and shit, like, I'm the reason you niggas got this money, in the first place. So Leon get the, it's blood money. If I could give it back, I would. He go, Franklin, he like, great, brilliant, awesome. He like, give it back to me. This episode was like hilarious, like, wasn't supposed to be, but Franklin acted his ass off. Damson acted his ass off this finale. He always act his ass off. Like, that's why the show's so popular. But this episode, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna show y'all why y'all gonna miss this show so much. Like, acted his ass off. I wish John Singleton was still alive. We probably would have had a different type of finale, but I still appreciated how it ended or whatever. So he's like, good, great, give it to me. So Leon gets the, I can't do that, Franklin. So at this point, Franklin done pulled out a gun. I ain't even see him pull it out. He looking at Leon real hard, dangerous look in his eye. He get the, I need that fucking money, Lee. So then he said, you gonna give it to me, and then he pulls the, child, don't get me started on gun. I don't know guns or whatever, but he pulls a little, lever back to make, like, so it could be easy to, like, just shoot. He pulls the lever back on the gun. He said, I'm gonna get this money from you. Gonna give me this money. And he pulls the lever back on the gun. He said, I'm gonna take it from you. So I'm like, oh man, here we go. It's about to be a beef with Leon and Franklin. As soon as he showed up at Leon's place, I was like, he about to pull the same thing he did with Louis. Go to Louis. When he went to Louis, said he needed something. They gonna turn him down. Leon gonna turn him down. It's gonna be war just like with him and Louis. But so he gets the, you gonna give it to me or I'm gonna take it. Clicks his gun back. Turns around, it's like 8 niggas behind him, ready to ride about Leon. Like, what? What you thought? What you thought, Franklin? That's Leon turf. Like, come on, bro. You came by yourself. You might have grew up with these niggas too, but, like, you ain't grow up, like, hood-wise with them. Like, you was, because remember, Franklin wasn't with the street shit at first. It was Leon more so. That's why I found it so crazy that the roles kind of reversed this episode. This finale, but it is what it is. So them niggas standing behind him, ready to ride about Leon. So Franklin, he looks back at Leon and says, "This really how you want this shit to end? This really how you want this to end?" So Leon look at him like you my brother type. Like, he don't even say it, but you could tell the look in his eyes exactly when he says no. Leon says no, and you could tell by looking in his eyes like, no, this is not how I want it to end. You my brother, like you my sandbox. He talking about Sissy more than Franklin even caring about Sissy. But like Sissy is like a second mother. Did they ever introduce Leon's parents to us? Did they ever say anything about his parents? since season 1. I don't even remember. But but Leon was always like a second son to Sissy, I would say. So now we at this, like I said, don't get me started with stuff. I don't be knowing stuff. But I'm assuming this is like Sissy's like trial setting. They like setting her trial date or whatever. Ooh. They like setting her trial date. That was hella spit. That was nasty. They kind of like setting her trial date or whatever. Franklin, he shows up. So they asking Sissy, like, how did the judge ask Sissy, like, how do you plead? So she says, I plead guilty. And then she starts saying, like, a whole bunch of stuff, like, you know, for killing a CIA agent who was funneling drugs through the USA for war, like, saying all this stuff. The judge, he banging the hell out of his gavel. He's like, order. You can't be saying all that, It's some black guy sitting down, like, in one of the, I don't know what the seats are or whatever, but he's sitting there, and I'm assuming he's FBI because that's the only, like, federal whatever we ain't introduced in Snowfall yet. Like, this season, it's been like the CIA, KGB, DEA, whatever. So I'm assuming this guy's FBI. So the judge tells Sissy, like, Miss Saint, you ain't gonna get no, I mean, you can't say anything else. Like, the only thing we gonna enter in the court is that you pleaded guilty, Like, stop talking, whatever. So then they were, like I said, I don't be knowing stuff, but they remand Sissy without bail. That's what I'm assuming. She gets remanded without bail. So Franklin, he leaves out the courtroom, and the black dude, he follows him. I'm assuming this is the FBI guy, so I'm just keep saying FBI guy. So he follows him out. He's like Franklin saying, I've been looking for you. I got some questions for you. So he gets the witnesses put a mail matching your description at the scene when Sissy shot Teddy or whatever. So Franklin get that, oh yeah, good for you. So the FBI guy like, you mean to tell me you two weren't in this together? So Franklin was like, man, you heard her. I ain't pulling no trigger. So the FBI guy was like, I got a dead CIA guy with burns on his chest. And I'm like, Teddy not even CIA, so shut up. But anyway, he's like, I got a dead CIA guy with burns on his chest. He's like, want to tell me how he got it or whatever? So Franklin was like, I don't know. Cooking crack, dangerous business. That's what I said. Franklin was he was acting his ass off this episode. So this FBI dude's following Franklin all the way to his car. So he says to Franklin, like, Sissy, she throwing her life away to try to expose out the CIA. He was like, you don't think she gonna talk to us? So Franklin was like, man, my mom is fucking crazy. Ain't nobody gonna believe her, this, that, and the third. So the FBI dude done did his digging, I guess. So he gets I bet Irene Abe would believe her, the reporter that Teddy killed when she was like getting too close to the story. She was working with the girl that Franklin was messing with for a little while. They had the cop fob or whatever. And they had to kill her or whatever. Teddy killed her. Made it look like it was like she fell asleep at the wheel or something like that. So he gets like Irene Abe would believe her. So Franklin get the Irene is dead. So the FBI, he was like, yeah, and so is, start naming a couple other people that died. Like, I guess when Franklin and Teddy started doing business. And then he ends with Jerome's name. But Franklin, he don't even flinch. So he was like, and now I got a CIA agent to go along with countless others, So he said to Franklin, I know what the fuck you are. He's like, I might be the only one on the planet that does, but I do. So at this moment, Franklin was like, he's like, oh yeah, nigga, do something about it then, nigga. I was like, hey. I was like, yeah, do something about it. The fuck? What you can do? What you gonna do? Yeah, what is he gonna do about it? So then he says, oh yeah, Franklin said, take that gun and use it, nigga. Like, he ain't gonna do nothing. Dang, I had a point about why he couldn't do nothing. I can't remember what it was, though. I guess because he ain't got no evidence. I don't know. But he gets in the car, calls that nigga Uncle Tom. See, Uncle Tom ass nigga. And yeah, that's what I was about to say. We don't even see this nigga the rest of the damn episode. So I was like, yeah, do something about it, nigga. You didn't do nothing. We didn't see this nigga the rest of the episode. I thought we was definitely gonna see him again because the way Franklin threatened him, we don't even see that nigga again. So, like, nigga, do something about it, and you didn't. Called him an Uncle Tom ass nigga, pulled off on his ass. Yeah, I even wrote in this moment, I said Franklin caused him a lot of problems making new enemies all in the finale. Shaking my head, yeah. So it had me nervous, like I thought we was gonna see that guy again, but we didn't even see him again. So now Wanda, she thinking exactly what everybody else thinking. She asking Leon, like, you don't think Franklin gonna come at you now after what just happened or whatever? Because I'm assuming Leon told Wanda what happened. Sidebar, it's a spinoff of Snowfall coming out, but it's gonna be based on Wanda and her character or whatever. So I wonder how that's gonna play out. I mean, I would have rather seen a spinoff about anyone else. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I kind of care for Wanda. I care for Wanda. I mean, I'm excited to see how the spinoff turns out. I don't know how they're gonna go from there. I don't know. So Leon, she asked, "Do you think Franklin's gonna retaliate or come at you, whatever?" Leon says, "Nah, he know better. Like, he know he can't touch me in the PJs. I got protection here." So Wanda was like, "Well, you know, now since he locked up, like, she was the one paying for the shelter. Like, now that she can't fund the shelter, it's gonna probably close in like 2 weeks. All these people gonna be like back on the street." So they got Leon starting to think or whatever. So Wanda get the look. I made my decision, Lee, because she already been telling Leon, like, she don't know what she gonna do here. Like, she feel out of place now because, like, all she see is the drug that she trying to stay away from. Remember last episode, she told Sissy, like, it's rock everywhere. I don't know how I'm going to be able to, like, stay clean or whatever. So she tells Leon in this moment, I made my decision. I'm going back to Ghana. She's like, I got enough for a one-way ticket. She was like, I'll figure out the rest when I get there. So in this moment, Leon, he gets up. He goes to his little drawer, pulls, like, a big-ass stack of money out. So as he pulls out, Wanda's like, look, Leon, I don't even want your money. Which we know. Like, we know Wanda just want him for him, because she was fucking with him before he even had the money or whatever, even though she was like a rockhead. But she was just getting hooked on rock when they was talking, and then she got super hooked and they wasn't talking no more or whatever. So she know, like, we know it ain't about the money with Wanda, and Leon knows this as well. So he's like, stop. Like, he's like, you my wife, this our money. He's like, we gonna get you to Ghana. So in this moment, Wanda was like, damn, you ain't even gonna, like, tell me to stay. So in that moment, like Leon knows that's exactly what he should do, but he knows in this moment there's a lot of other stuff going on. So he just like I know you want me to tell you that, but like at this point, I would just feel like comfortable if you left. Like, you my wife, that I feel like you would be safer in Ghana. So that's the type of tip I feel like Leon's on. So Leon, she was like, you ain't gonna even tell me to stay. Leon was like, no. So now we get this scene at the jail, and Franklin, he done went to go see Sissy. They talking through the glass on the phone, you know, like jail scene. So he gets to, like, nothing happened. Hey, mama, how you doing? Like, what? So he tells her, like, yeah, I can still get Prentice to, like, represent you, the lawyer or whatever. He was like, you just tell them that you want to request new counsel, tell them you want in your right state of mind. They'll believe you, all the trauma or whatever. Sissy don't even say nothing. Like, she just staring at him like, she don't want to say nothing. Remember, I think in the last episode, she said something about, you ain't gonna be able to speak to me again. And Franklin was like, okay, or something like that. So, she ain't talking to him. Last thing she said to him was, goodbye, Franklin. So he tells her, like, you can't be opening your mouth like that again. Because, like, what do you say? Like, you can't be provoking them. He says, like, they'll kill you in here with a bed sheet. Like, he's like, do you understand? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Says he still ain't budging. So then he's still like, if she not answering nothing at this point, why even go into this question then? So he says, well, why'd you do what you did or whatever? He was like, Teddy was just about to make the transfer. He was like, we were so fucking close. He was like, you couldn't wait 10 seconds. So at that moment, I guess Sissy's more irritated. She hangs up the phone and she leaves. So Franklin, like I said, for this whole episode, Franklin's agitated. He just all about getting the money. So he had this. He's back at his old house, and this guy shows up. Assumingly, he's like a competitor, somebody that wanted to buy the Spring Street property and got outbid by Franklin and V or whatever. So he shows up saying he's been looking for Franklin. Everybody been looking for Franklin, whatever. But says he's been looking for Franklin. So he was like, yeah, I understand why you wouldn't want to sell your stake in the waterfront property. So Franklin started to get to like what? Like, that's what you here for? So he was like, so the dude was like, he talked to V or something like that. So Franklin was like, oh, you been misinformed. We ain't trying to sell, da-da-da. He was like, the stake isn't for sale. Yeah, he was like, so, but Veronique said, Franklin cut him off and was like I said, my stake is not for sale. Like, he gets all up in the guy's face, like, my stake is not for sale. You know how Franklin get. So at this moment, Franklin, like I said, he agitated, he coming at everybody this episode, acting his ass off. Go damn, Sam. So he goes to holler at V. About her talking to telling him that they might want to buy. So she was like, she was just testing the waters just in case they had to sell, da-da-da. So Franklin was like, I told you we wasn't selling, V. And she was like, I didn't think it could hurt to have, like, the numbers at hand. So at this point, Franklin, like, he started to get, like, loud. So he's like, my woman meeting with other competitors, soliciting offers, showing our weaknesses, basically. And she didn't see how that could hurt. So she immediately says, okay, and it won't happen again. So I think that V is scared of Franklin, which is sad. It's like, but it's like, you chose this life. And like I said, like they never introduced their relationship. We didn't see them dating or anything. Like, she just popped up. So I'm just like, did she know he was in the life when they first started talking? Did she not? Like, when they first introduced her, he was like slowly telling her. I don't know. But it's just like, you knew what you signed up for, kind of like. So it's just like, if she gonna deal with it, then that's on her. So he was like, you don't see how that could hurt or whatever? So she says it won't happen again. And Franklin was like, oh, I know it won't happen again. So I'm just like, oh, snap, Mike and Tina. And V looks super scared. Unlike this Power Season 3 episode, this Power Ghost, Book Ghost Season 3 episode, 6? No, 5. It's a similar scene like this one in that episode, in that jump. And that jump played out way different, but I ain't even gonna bring that up. But in this moment, like, V looks super terrified. So what she say to him? God damn it, I lost where I was. I hate this damn book thing. I'm glad I got my phone now, because the damn pages keep flipping. Okay, here we go. So he tells V at this moment that he made a deal to sell the little South Central properties that they got to finance the one big property, the Spring Street property. He says he made a deal to sell the little properties that they got to protect this big one that cost the most money. He said he should be able to finance Spring Street, the waterfront property, for as long as possible. So she was like, did you do that today? So he says, he didn't even say yes or no. He was just like, one buyer with deep pockets. He was like, the buyer's already familiar with the area and the business. He's like, the buyer's already familiar with the area and the business enough to know a great deal when he sees one. He's like telling her who the buyer is. He's like, and he has a personal motivation to want to buy them out. So he said it was my mother's old boss. Remember, Sissy was working for, what was she working for? What was she doing? She was working for some dude in the beginning of Snowfall. I want to say she was working for like a cleaners or something. Or was it Franklin that was working for the cleaners? I don't remember, but I remember Sissy working for this white dude at the beginning of Snowfall. So he says that's who he's selling the South Central stakes to, the South Central properties to. So if he was like, man, you just sunk us, like you don't even know what you just did. Franklin was like, I didn't, and if I did, he the one built it. So if he want to tear it all down, that's on him. That's what he gonna do. So he was like, so he gets closer to her. He was like, remember what I told you in Malibu? So she was like, you said you needed my loyalty. And Frank was like, that's not all I said, is it? And he grabbed her neck. In this moment, I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, because right before that, he grabs her, like, her arms. And he was like, remember what I said to you in Malibu? So then she was like, you said you wanted my loyalty. So then he's like, that's not all I said. And then he grabs her neck. Tight. He was like, if you ever go behind my fucking back again. I was like, come on, Denzel. You don't know who, dang, what was, Damn Son? I don't remember. What was Denzel calling Damson? I can't even remember, but come on, Denzel. You gotta know who Damson is. That's what the reporter said to him. You gotta know who Damson is. But yeah. He said, if you ever go back behind my fucking back again. No, he said, don't ever go back behind my fucking back again. You hear me? So V smacked him like, fuck off me. She said, fuck off me. So frankly, he lets go. I don't think he was going to, but that still was wild. Like his mother, her mother was telling her, even though her mother was supposed to be like a bad person too. So at this point, Leon, I guess he can see Sissy. So he goes to see Sissy. They talking through the phone, through the glass. So she tells Leon she did the only thing she could possibly do to like still live with herself. Cause you know she felt so guilty for like even being involved in this and like riding with Franklin in the first place. So he tells her like people in the neighborhood been calling her a hero. Yeah, he says people in the news been calling you a hero, and she was like, she said people in the neighborhood been calling you a hero. So she gets but they the only ones that's talking about it, ain't they? Like ain't the news ain't talking about it, ain't the reporters or nothing, and ain't been talked about it, that was being covered up. So Leon kind of like nods, like, yeah, I get it, like, yeah, nobody else talking about it but the neighborhood. So then Leon tells her, like, I'm gonna continue to fund the shelter. That makes Sissy happy. She smiles or whatever. She said that's good news. So she asks him, like, at this moment, like, how is Wanda handling everything? So, you know, Sissy don't even know. So Leon was like, well, she not handling it great. He's like, she kind of reached her breaking point. She went back to Ghana. So Sissy frowned. She's like, oh, man. So in this moment, she gets to, like, Leon, I admire what you trying to do. She was like, but I hate the way you doing it. So Leon was like, look, I ain't come for no advice. He was like, I came to see if there was anything I could do for you. Look. So she was like, what you can do for me is pack you some books and take your ass to your wife. Like, go to your wife. Oh, wait, did she say that? Yeah, and go to your wife. She says, go find who you want to be in this world. And then when you're ready, and if you want to come back, you come back. She said, when you're ready to atone, you can come back. So she says she gets to talking about like Franklin's lost is one of the greatest travesties in my life. But then she says, but you, Leon, you're one of my greatest surprises. Like I said, he always been like a second son to her. I don't think they ever talked about Leon's parents on Snowfall. So she was like, you're one of my greatest surprises. She's like, I don't want to lose you too. They both get like teary-eyed. So it's like a sad moment. Because they feel for each other. Like Leon caring for Sissy more than Franklin is in this moment. Franklin just money hungry right now. So she says, I love you to Leon. Leon says, I love you too. So it's a little moment. Like probably not going to see each other again. Or I don't know. So Franklin, he's at his bank, I'm assuming, whatever. Talking with the bank teller. He starts telling them that they need to rip out the whole foundation. Look, I be writing word for word because I don't be understanding stuff. So I just be wanting the clarity. He said they need to repull it. I don't know if he said repull or pour it. I don't know. So he says, like he mentions that he's selling his some of his properties. It says that in the meantime he's gonna need like an increase of line. He needs to increase the line of his credit. He says he needs construction loans. Look, I don't be knowing. Then he asks for a cashier's check of $129,000 for a 6-wide concrete. I'm assuming that's what it says. 6-wide concrete to get the ball rolling. Look, I don't be knowing. So he asks for all this from his bank teller. And the bank teller says, is this why Veronique was here earlier? So Franklin's face immediately like, oh snap. And I told y'all niggas, like, but I mean, I kind of like felt for V after he like grabbed her neck up, but still. But he was like, this is why Veronique was here earlier. Like she made a very giant, made a giant withdrawal, like a substantial withdrawal. So Franklin was like, how substantial? So the banker was like, I would have to verify, but he was like, I would have to verify the exact amount. But he was like, it's in the range of $800,000. It was like most of y'all available funds. So Franklin is like, it's like, what? Like tripping. So at this moment, I'm like, maybe she took it. I mean, I was like, well, she obviously took it. But I was like, damn, she took the money. She about to run off. I was like, is she even still pregnant? Because they still never gave us that. But then towards the end, we found out. So I'm just like, dang, V took all the money. And I'm just like, I kind of felt in that moment, I was like, okay, he did choke her up. Like he was in a like he money crazed right now, so he coming at anybody. And then she carrying this child, so it's just like, or is at the point at that moment I was like, or is she? So it's just like, I kind of felt for V, but to take all the money and run away, like that was wild. So like I said, I never trusted V. I mean, I get it. He choked her up or whatever, so she feel for her. Like I get that. I totally get that. So, but it was still like, damn. I knew we didn't trust her. So Franklin tells him like, oh, me and Veronique, we must have got our lines crossed up. He was like, I talk to her and get it handled. So the banker mentions like, this was the account that y'all was using to like fund the waterfront for the Spring Street property. So Franklin was like, I know, it will be paid in full at a regular time, whatever. So now Franklin, this episode, we see Franklin drinking like hell. So Franklin, he in his car, he drinking like shit. He going through it because Venus done took all this money. So now he needs some cash flow. So he goes back to the jail to talk to Sissy again. So he goes to Sissy, talking something. You was right about V. Talking something. She took all the money and left. That bitch took all my money and left. He was like, I got somebody looking for her. Probably the same dude he had looking for Peaches and man, Peaches. We can get to that. Same dude we had looking for Peaches and Teddy's folks or whatever. He was like, he'll find her or whatever. He says in the meantime, he was like, I need some funds because she took all my money. She cleaned me out. He was like, I'm gonna need to sell the house for some cash. So he was like, you know it's in Sissy's name. So he was like, I'm gonna need you to fill out some paperwork, signing the house back over to me. He was like, I'm sorry, but like the fact is, like, you gonna be in here, like, you ain't getting out of here. So he was like, just sign the papers. Sissy does it. She hangs up the phone again. So then Franklin gets the, what kind of mother are you? Like, that's wow. The mother that killed a CIA agent willing to go to jail for life in prison. That's what type of mother she is. But you ask in this moment, what kind of mother is she? She's like, you're not going to speak to your son? She told you, son. She told you last episode, it's the last time we're going to talk. And you said you was good with that, which is crazy. So, I mean, I get both sides. I get Franklin's side. It's a whole bunch of money. That's a lot of money, man. People go crazy for that type of money. But I also understand Sissy's side. Like, it got to be into it somewhere. And the money ain't going to be the solve of everything. So I get both sides. So he gets to, this was all your fault. Like, he was like, you ended my life. You know, Franklin, he starts spazzing. He was like, after everything I did for you, you know how you go. After everything I did for you. He's like, you ruined my life. He's like, you ruined my life. He was like, Teddy should have blown your fucking head off. Like, bruh. I'm like, oh, man. I was like, that's so crazy. Like, Franklin, he going, like, it's crazy. He was going crazy. So then he calls her a fucking bitch. He's like, you fucking bitch, you ruined my life. Teddy should have blown your head off, you fucking bitch. So at this point, the COs, they come in to pull Frank, like remove Franklin. He getting pulled out of jail. So I didn't even expect this season finale, but I should have known. But we get these little flashes between months and years or whatever. So it's 3 months after this, after Franklin done seen Sissy and called her a fucking bitch and all that. So Franklin on the phone still trying to get this get an extension on the payment for the Spring Street property. And they tell him he got 48 hours or it's nothing they can do. So Franklin was like, didn't I tell you? He spazzes on them. He's like, I told y'all I'm going to get the money today. They hang up on his dumb ass. So Franklin in the house, he going fucking crazy. He spazzing, breaking, you know how he do, he spaz. So then he gets a page and he meets up with the dude that be getting info for him, or whatever, the one that he got looking for Veronique. His name is Top. So in this moment, I'm like, I know he got him looking for Veronique, but I'm in this moment like, damn, is we gonna find out about Peaches, or are they just gonna leave that unsolved? So then he asked Top, he was like, did you find V? And Top was like, no. So Franklin was like, what the fuck you mean no? So Franklin was like, she had to have had that baby by now because it's a 3 month flash. Like, she had to have had that baby by now. So he was like, did you check hospitals? And Top was like, look, I don't even know where I would look for her at. Where I was supposed to be looking for her at. And I'm like, what? Then what are he hiring you for? What you mean you don't know where to look for a woman that had a baby in the last 3 months or whatever? Like, what? But anyway, he was like, I don't even know where I'm supposed to be looking for her at. So then he was like, look, Franklin, I'm not looking for V anymore. So Franklin was like, why not? Yeah, he said, I'm not looking for V no more. So Franklin was like, why not? He was like, did you talk to my mother? He was like, so I guess Sissy has a strong bond with all these men that Franklin grew up with. He's like, what you talking to my mama? He was like, what V paying you off or something like that? So Tops gets the nod. This is just me, and I feel like I've done all that I can do for you, but I'm done. So Tops has a conscience now. He's just like, nah, I'm done. And I'm just like, why you got a conscience all of a sudden? You acting like he had you being a hitman, killing people or whatever. He just had you looking for people. He was basically just like a private investigator. So like, you gonna stop doing your job? But I was like, whatever. He was like, I'm done. I'm like, maybe it's more to it that they never just said. But he was like, so Franklin was like, you dragged me here to tell me you quit on me? So Top was like, yeah, but I also got something for you. So he hands him an envelope, which we find out is, so they don't show what's in the envelope in that moment. But Franklin's eyes get wide as hell. But we find out that this envelope is the information on Peach's whereabouts. So Franklin pulls up to this house. He pulls out his gun, like, you know, starts walking to the house, like, you know, watching his surroundings or whatever. He goes through the back, and now he inside the damn house. It was easy as hell to get in the house. He didn't even have to break into nothing to get in the house. So he in the house, and he starts, you know, walking around. You know, he's still watching his surroundings. Got his gun on draw. So he finds Peaches, and Peaches' ass is high as hell on the couch. So now Peaches is hooked on drugs. And for somebody supposed to be hooked on drugs, that nigga teeth looked marvelous, okay? So I was just like, what kind of drug addict he supposed to be? And I only say that because at the end, we're going to talk about teeth, drug addict teeth again. But his teeth in that moment just was looking like so good. And I was like, he's supposed to be a drug addict, but... So then he notices Franklin. He's like, Franklin Saint, my nigga. I was like, damn, I thought we would have got that line from Damson, from Franklin. But he says, Franklin Saint, my nigga. So Franklin, he pointed the gun at Peaches. He starts saying it all made sense now. Peaches, no, he said it made sense that you would flee the country. But imagine my surprise when I found out you was like only 25 miles away. He said something like he says Nova Scotia or something like that. But it was supposed to be like in Liberia, and that's where they thought Peaches was, but the whole time it was like a street that was like 25 miles away or something like that. So he was like, imagine my surprise when I found out it's not actually Liberia. Said you thought you was smart going to go across the country when you were really 25 miles away, something like that. You thought you was smart to make it seem like you went across the country, but you was 25 miles away, something like that. And he was in a big ass house. And we found out later how he afforded this house. A little, like, probably like, yeah, we found out right now. So he says, so he asked Peaches, like, was you really planning to leave, or was this your plan? He said, was you really planning to leave, or did you start getting high? And, he said, this your, as far as your sad ass, junkie ass got. Like, did you plan to leave, but you started getting high, and you just as far as your ass got. So, you know, Peaches, he's on it, and now he's super high. So Franklin like, look at me, nigga. So he says, you took $5 million from me. So I forgot that Peaches took money. That's why he was searching so hard for Peaches. I thought he was searching for Peaches because Peaches just disappeared. Because I could have swore Peaches just said he wasn't feeling good or whatever. He was sick. I couldn't remember, but he says, you took $5 million from me, and I hope for your sake that you still got some of that money. So Peaches was like, yeah, I still got some. It's in the safe back there. So Franklin lights up. And I just like, Franklin, stop lighting up before you get stuff. Like, he lit up before when Teddy was on the phone with the damn people about to get the account numbers. Give him the account numbers or whatever. And he ain't even get it yet. And I was like, why you lighting up? And then the sissy shot him. He lights up too quick. So I was just like, that's crazy. So he lights up like a kid in the candy store. When Peaches say, yeah, I still got something in the back, in the safe. So Frank was like, all right, get up with the gun. He's like, get up. Show me. So at this moment, Peaches like acting like he about to get up. Dumbass high ass nigga pull out a gun. Not quick enough. Franklin shoot his ass twice in the chest. So Peaches is dead. We finally figure out what happened to Peaches, and then he died like 2 minutes later. But it's the finale, so of course we expected that. So after that, Franklin, because Peaches did get a shot off, but he missed. So Franklin checking himself, making sure he didn't get shot or whatever. So he goes over there to grab Peaches' gun just to be sure that, you know, Peaches don't wake up from the dead and draw that bitch on him. But you know, just how people just take the gun and make sure, whatever. So he goes back and he starts searching Peaches' house for the safe. So now we know how Peaches afforded that big ass house. He took $5 million. $5 million. People just taking stuff from Franklin. And we thought Franklin wasn't being savage enough. I mean, no, we thought Franklin was being too savage. The whole time his loved ones were stealing from him. They stealing from him. Everybody was taking from Franklin this episode. I mean, but Peaches been took from him. But yeah, V took from him. It's crazy. Sissy took from him in a way. So he finds the safe, and of course it's locked. So now he's starting to look for like codes or whatever, seeing if it's something paperwork around the house or something that could give him the combination to the safe. He searches he even searches Peach's body, look for his ID, tries his birthday, doesn't work. So now he done called somebody to try to come and help open the lock. He told him he locked himself out of the safe. He forgot the combination, he just got the safe or whatever. So now he cleans up the scene where he shoots Peaches. He hides Peaches' body. Yeah, he hides Peaches' body, cleans up the mess. So the locksmith shows up. I think his name was Miguel. So they making small talk to the safe. Dude was like, it's a big house, whatever. And Frank was like, yeah, it's just me in here, whatever. I think the locksmith was saying something about his grandmother. I don't even remember. So the locksmith, he has gotten like the first crack. Because I noticed this when I watch movies and shows and stuff. Like when it comes to like big safes and stuff, it'd be like two pressure points or something that you got to crack to get a safe open. So it'd be like 2 of them. Sometimes it'd be 3. But so the locksmith gets like the first jump cracked, and he was like, just one more, and we should be good. So again, Franklin, he lightened up like a kid in the candy store. Then this random dude walks in, looks like a dope fiend or whatever, like a meth head or whatever. He walks in, he's like, who are you? To Franklin. He said, who are you? He was like, what are you guys doing? So, Franklin gets there, well, Peaches, he needed help with his safe. So dude was like, where is Peaches? So Frank was like, oh yeah, he out back. He's like, yeah, I'll show you. He tries to get up. So the dude was like, no, I'm good. He tries to flee. Franklin goes behind him. He tells Miguel, like, keep working on the safe, run behind him. Then you hit Miguel. Then we have Miguel's point of view, and Miguel, just 2 shots. He hit 2 shots. So the locksmith dude, Miguel, he starts panicking, like, he starts freaking out. He's looking out the windows, this, that, and the third. So then Franklin comes back, and Franklin already know. He heard the gunshots, so he already freaked out. This dude is a civilian. Poor Miguel. And this poor Miguel. So he tells him, like, I don't want to hurt you. Just open the safe and I'll let you go. So Miguel, he goes back at the safe. He goes back to working on the safe. So they get the safe open. And at the first moment, when they get the safe open, Franklin and Miguel see what's in it, but we don't get to see it. So Franklin looks hella upset. So I'm thinking in this moment, oh, that junk empty. I'm thinking in this moment like it's either empty or it don't got what he thought it was going to have. So he tells the locksmith to count it. So in this moment, I'm like, okay, there's some money in there. But then the locksmith, he does like this. So I'm like, oh, see, it ain't that much. It's like a little bit of ass money. It's probably like, I was thinking it's probably like $12. But the whole time, he tells the locksmith to count it. The locksmith was like, it's about 12 grand. So I'm like, damn, that ain't even going to cut what Franklin need. Franklin need millions. So Franklin laughs, hysterically. He laughs like, I did all this. Look what happened. Did all this $12,000. So he asked the locksmith, he was like, let me ask you something. He was like, it's $12,000 a lot of money. So the locksmith was like, man, I don't know. You know, he just trying to get out of there. He don't care. He just heard, he just know you killed the man. Like, he just trying to get out of there. So he was like, look, man, I got 3 kids. I won't snitch. I won't say nothing. He was like, if the cops ask, I'll say it was another white boy junkie, whatever. So Franklin was like, put the money in your pockets. He tells him to put the money in his pockets. So in this moment, I'm like, okay, you about to give him the money, let him go. Like, he just like, at this point, I don't need the damn, I mean, what I'm going to do with $12,000? I'm thinking in this moment, like, what are you going to do with $12,000? Might as well give it to the dude for his services. So he was like, what's your name again? So the locksmith says, he says Miguel. So I'm hoping his name Miguel. I don't remember. Shoot. It wasn't really that important. We only see this guy in one scene, whatever. Sad. But he tells him his name. So Frank was like, leave, Miguel, leave. So the locksmith says, thank you so much. So in this moment, I'm like, okay, cool. Franklin ain't stupid. I mean, Franklin ain't like, he ain't going too crazy, I'm thinking in this moment. Because he had me fooled. I ain't going to hold you. I would have been just like Miguel. So if Miguel trying to dip up out of there, Franklin walks up behind him, shoot that man in the back. I was like, damn. R.I.P. Miguel. So then they flash to 2 years later. I need to learn how to like edit so I can edit out that siren I just heard. But I'm not that good at tech. I just like talking about TV shows. A lot of people don't be watching the stuff I watch, and when they do, they don't be wanting to talk about it. So I like to talk about it, and people can just watch me. But yeah, so so it's 2 years later, and the DEA, they show up at this big ass farmhouse, and they looking for Louis. They was like, they showing the pictures of this farm couple, and they like, this woman may have been here looking for work. She may have gone by this name, but her real name is Louis Saint. So the couple, they tell the DEA, they was like, yeah, she was here about last winter. They say last winter. I don't know what the time frame is. I mean, we know it's 2 years later, but we don't know what season it is that she's telling them it was last winter. So I'm assuming it's probably like spring, summer. She died with Sheree. But yeah, it was like, yeah, she was here last winter and left. And all the while, like, Louis in a little barn, like, not even too far away. She can hear what's happening or whatever. And she ducking, she hiding. So she listening. So they tell her, like, yeah, she was here last winter, she left. So the DEA was like, did she give any, like, indication to where she was going? This is the third, any hints to where she was going? So they was like, look, a lot of people coming around these parts looking for work. And we know that they running from trouble, so we just try to, like, we don't even try to get into their business, You know how people come to small towns just to get, get away, hide out, whatever, in movies and stuff. So they're like, one way you get into that, whatever. So the DEA do give them their call. They're like, if you hear from her, or if she resurfaces or whatever, or anything about her, just call us or whatever. And they ain't gonna do that shit. I just feel like they was just wrapping up everybody's story. So we see Louis got away. And I heard something about Louis might be in Wanda's spinoff, so I wonder how that's going to play out. Is she still going to be getting, like... That's who should have had a spinoff. She getting hunted down by the DEA. And do she really got this money at this house that she was telling the dirty cop about? She probably got to that by now. It's been like 2 or 3 years, whatever. So then we flash to Gustavo. He has some gym working with kids, like teaching them wrestling or whatever. So I was like, okay, Gustavo doing something that he loves. He ain't got to, like, do it himself. He ain't got to wrestle no more, but he's still, like, in the field or whatever. Because remember he was talking with Frank last time. He's saying, like, what you going to do now, wrestling? And Oso was like, nah. So he calls the little answering service. Remember he gave his girl a little card and told her to call it when her and the kids was safe or whatever. So I guess he been checking it. And she probably never, like, reached out. But now he calls it and she left a message. She says her and the kids are fine. He's smiling, make him super happy. She tells him that they ended up settling in North Carolina, which was a surprise. I thought they would have left the country, but says they settled in North Carolina. she was like, she still miss him. She was like, and if you made it out, her and the kids want to see him. So I was like, okay, there's still hope yet for Gustavo and this girl and them kids. So then they flash to another year later. And this is like kind of like the end. I was like, damn, this is the end. So they flash to another year later. And there's some young niggas, they standing outside of Sissy old house or whatever. Franklin in them old house. And Leon walk up. And Leon look clear faced, look clear minded, whatever. So these young niggas, they asked Leon, they like, what set you with her? What set you with her? And I heard it's really like that in LA. Like, I hear you, like, you really gotta watch what colors you wear when you out there. Cause I was talking with one of my coworkers just the other day. I was like, man, if I ever go to LA, I'm just gonna wear black. And they was like, nah, it's hoods out there, it's gangs out there that got affiliation with black. And I was like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. Like, black is my shit. Like, come on. But yeah, so I hear that color shit is real. So they was like, what set you with, cuz? So Leon was like, I grew up in this house right here. So he was like, anybody living there in that joint right now? So they laughed and they was like, yeah, if you want to call that living or whatever. So so as you walk up to the door, you see the damn whole front yard fucked up, and you see the eviction notices on the door, all that. So Leon, he banging on the door. So first Franklin wasn't gonna answer, but then Leon was like, look, Franklin, I know you in there or whatever. So Franklin was like, Leon. So he come in. So Leon come in. He mentions the eviction notices on the door. Franklin was like, man, it's just because they know who I am. And they just trying to fuck with me, whatever. And let me get started on saying Franklin looks bad. The house looks bad. Franklin, like, super drunk. At this point, he's like a super drunk. He done grew a whole bit. I ain't even gonna hold you. Even though he's supposed to look like an uncle in this moment, he's still so damn fine. Like, that beard he grew in, I was like, damn, son. But he is so fine, but I digress. But, yeah, he's so fine. Like, he grew the beard out. He still looked good, even though he was supposed to be an uncle in this moment. No, I know that's sad. But he's still like that. Like, whatever. But yeah, he looks super bad. Teeth, that's what I wanted to talk about, like, because I was about to say D-Ray, but that's D-Ray, you know, Peaches. But Peaches' teeth looking so good to be like a dope fiend, crackhead, whatever. And then in this moment, Franklin's teeth look fucked up. So I don't know if he doing drugs, but we see in this moment, he's like a super drunk. You see all the bottles and shit around the house. So he looks super bad. So he's like, Leon, come in. You know he drunk. He's like, Leon, come in. So he's like, you know, Leon mentioned the eviction notice. He's like, man, you know, you're just trying to fuck with me, whatever. Because they know who I am. So he's like, let's go out. You know what? Let's go out the back. So Franklin played this drunk character like real good. Real good. Lips all dry. Just dirty ass clothes. Just out here. So he was like, they started talking about him, how long he been back from Africa. And he was like, man, I'm going to start calling you Yo-Yo because you be back and forth, back and forth. And I didn't think nothing of it in that moment. I was like, that's funny. Whatever. And then but he calls him Yo-Yo, like at the very end of this episode. And I was just like, nigga, how you go from Leon to Yo-Yo that damn quick and you supposed to be drunk? I just thought that was so funny. But he said, I'm going to start calling you Yo-Yo because you be like back and forth from Africa to LA. So he was like, did you find what you was looking for in Africa? And Leon was like, yeah, Franklin was like, you know, that's good because you sure ain't going to find it here. You know, Franklin just drunk. He just saying whatever comes to mind. Drunk man tells no tales, whatever that saying is. So they walking through the alley, this crackhead back there, he yelling at her like, hey, don't be shitting by my house. I live here. I was like, oh man, Franklin's just down bad. It was so sad. He ended up with nothing. It's just so sad how he started and where he ended at, man. And the roles like reversed. You would think that Franklin would be in Leon's position and Leon would be in Franklin's position. Because Leon was like the hot-headed wild one. So, and Franklin was supposed to be, and Franklin started off like the level-headed one and all that. But then they was telling him he was too soft and all that. That's where I think they went wrong. Like, Franklin should have stayed humble like he was when he first started out. But I feel like Teddy also had something to, and Teddy was to blame too. But yeah, Franklin, he just down bad. He's with nothing now. So he tells that bitch, he's like, yeah, don't be shitting out here. This is where I live. So he was like, yeah, they, man, a couple of weeks ago, he gets to showing Leon this wound, this scar wound on his stomach or whatever. He's like, these niggas came up in my house, they tried to rob me, man. He was like, but they got the worst of it though. And I don't know what that meant. Like, did he kill him? I don't know. He was like, that's why Sissy let me stay in the house. Which I thought was crazy. I was like, okay, that's why he getting, no, I don't know. Is that why he getting seized? Did she ever, I don't think she signed the paperwork. Well, I'm assuming she signed the paperwork over to him. No, she didn't, because he would have sold that bitch, no. So that's probably why it was foreclosed and whatever, like, Sissy ain't signed over on it. So he was like, that's why Sissy let me stay in the house. So I'm thinking at this moment, he probably just saying some drunk shit. He was like, that tricky little bitch. He calls his mother a tricky little bitch. I'm just like, he's still, that's crazy. He's like, that's a tricky little bitch. He's like, that lady. He's like, that lady. Speaking of that lady, have y'all seen the little situation with Bambi and Erica and Scrappy? Anyway, it all started with because Erica and Scrappy's daughter called Bambi that lady on live, and Bambi went super apeshit. But anyway, I digress. I just thought about it when I said that lady. But so Leon was like speaking to Sissy. He was like, when the last time you talked to Sissy? So he said, when the last time you saw Sissy? So Franklin says, saw her? He's like, did you hear nothing I just said? Like, I ain't get that. I was just like, I be zoning in. I'll be high, y'all, whatever. So Franklin asks us about Wanda. He don't really give a fuck. Nigga drunk. He don't care for real. But he was like, how's Wanda doing? So he was like, she ain't go back to her first love, and makes like a pipe gesture, like to say she ain't go back to the crack. She was like, she ain't go back to her first love. So he was like, she ain't go back to her first love yet. So Leon was like, nah, she doing super well. He was like, she actually trying to get into like the music business. So I'm like, okay, so that's what this spinoff gonna be like entailing. She gonna be like what's she gonna be doing? Is she gonna be singing? Oh no, yeah. So Franklin was like, you fucking with me, right? He was like, yeah, he was like, you fucking with me, right? So I'm like, is she gonna be singing? What's she gonna be doing? Like producing music, whatever. So Leon get to tell him like, marriage ain't easy, and Franklin was like, I tell you what ain't easy. He was like, fucking Veronique. So I was like, oh, I've been waiting to hear about this. So he's like, that bitch dipped as soon as the money was gone. He was like, but she did call me and tell me she had a son. So we find out that she did have a baby. So I was like, so what was that moment when she had the little miscarriage? I mean, I get it. I guess they was trying to show how stressed she was. But she never even got to talk to anybody about it. So it was just like, why did we need that scene where we thought she lost the baby for all this time? And she never told Franklin. So I was just like, so I thought she did. She lost the money. I mean, lost the baby. I thought she just took all the money and just dipped. Probably re-linked up with her mother type shit. But, so she was like, yeah, she did call me and tell me she had a son. And she was going to raise him right. And give him the best life, away from America. So, she out of the country. So we know she not even in America. Then he says that she said, I hope you can. So she tells him that he has a son or whatever. She's gonna raise him the best ability outside of America. Says, I hope you can find some solace in that. So Franklin was like, yeah. So he says that she said, I hope you can find some solace in that. He was like, bitch, bitch. he said, bitch. In a couple of days, he said, He said, I'll take a few days and see my son. That's what I will do. You know, he just drunk ranting. Because he ain't seen his son, apparently. And then he was like, woman, man. He was like, women, I don't get it. So this is the part where I thought was so funny. I was like, about time he get to say it for himself. He said, well, we already know, baby. He was like, man, sexy chocolate nigga like myself. I was like, okay. I was like, even looking like an unk, you look fine, baby. You know? But he was like, without smiling, because the teeth looked bad. The teeth looked bad. And at this point, the teeth just look bad. So he was like, sexy chocolate nigga like myself. No, he was like a sexy chocolate. Yeah, he's like sexy chocolate nigga like myself, and I can't keep a bitch. Like what? I can't keep a bitch. So they started laughing about that, and I was just like, he finally said that he gave us what we wanted at the end. I was like, you know, you sexy chocolate, baby. So then they walk up, and it's like these people out there, they shooting a movie, and I feel like it's like paying homage to John Singleton. R.I.P. to John Singleton, man. He did his thing with Snowfall. This was a bomb show. One of my ultimate favorites, I would have to say. I would probably put it in my top 5. I'd probably have to put it in my top 5. I'd probably have to say Snowfall, the Power franchises, The Handmaid's Tale, Game of Thrones, maybe RuPaul's Drag Race. Those would probably be my top 5. But anyway, they might switch as shows come out. I'll be watching some good shows, though. Your Honor was good. Breaking Bad. Damn. Let me not even jump off the deep end. But they shoot the movie, and I feel like it's like paying homage to John Singleton. R.I.P. to John Singleton. He did his thing with Snowfall. So he was like, so Franklin, he knows his drunk ass yelling, I ain't gonna win no Oscar, though. So Oscars, I mean, what was it, Emmys? Which one would Snowfall be nominated in? Emmys, Oscars, whatever. Anyway, pay attention. They need awards for this show. This show was hella good. So Leon gets to telling Franklin like he started a free clinic. And he was like, he feels like the first step is giving people freedom. But he wants to make sure that they actually are free. He says that. So Leon says, the water almost fell. This jump crooked at the bottom, so when I set it down, it'd be like tilted. So I'd be having to be careful when I set it down. So Leon was like, man, I was wrong about the law. Because remember at the end of season 5, he was telling the niggas and stuff, we need to leave the game because they about to try to up the sentencing for a gram of coke or something like that. So he was telling like we need to stop it. They trying to lock us up more for a little small amounts of coke or whatever. So now he's telling Franklin in this moment, like he said, I was wrong. Like that law that talked about the getting locked up for coke, whatever. He was like, it's even worse. He was like, it's like the Jim Crow era all over again. So Frank look at the man. He trying to help niggas that ain't trying to help theyself. So Leon was like, man, you know niggas is going through it. He tells Franklin that that's the reason why he came to him. He's like, I know you going through it. He was like, you come help me out at the clinic. So Franklin pauses. You know he drunk, so he ain't really caring. He was just like, he don't answer. He was just like, he's like, Leon, you got $10? So you know he's down bad if you gotta ask for $10. It's sad. It's sad to see, man. So Leon give him a 20. Franklin light up like he used to light up before the big stuff happened. He was like, ooh, a 20? He was like, my nigga. Leon just looking at him so disappointed. It's so sad. So Franklin asked, you know, his drunk ass, my bad, I had to scratch my foot. So his drunk ass, he done bought a bottle. They walking, he drinking from the bottle, you know, he's super drunk. And I'm just like, Leon, why you support this habit? So, you know, Franklin, he drunk, so he started talking the paranoia stuff. He get the, I need to start grabbing my chapstick when I'm doing these, because my lips is, like, they keep chapping up. I gotta keep licking them. But we almost done. So he says, he was like, I know they've been watching me. Like, I be hearing the phone clicking when I'm talking. And random cars be pulling up and all this other stuff. Following me and stuff. And he's like acting like I'm the problem. He was like, you know what? He was like, I did call him. He's like, I called him. I called the fucking CIA. At this point, he's drunk. So he's saying, he's talking super drunk. I called the CIA. He was like, someone answered too. He was like, I told them to leave me the fuck alone. He's like, oh, I'm going to start talking. He was like, that did it too. He was like, and that did it. I was just like, oh man, Franklin, poor Franklin. So as they walking back to Sissy's house, their Franklin's house, the Saint house. So the police is there, and they're there to seize the house or whatever. So Franklin don't even care. He just like, it is what it is. So Leon looking like, oh man, like this is sad or whatever. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna pay the property taxes on it, and I'm gonna clean it up myself. This, that, and the third. So Franklin was like, stop. He was like, you're not listening, yo, stop. So I was just like, you just named this nigga like earlier in the episode, calling him yo. Now you saying it like that's been his name the whole damn the whole damn every season. Tell me something, you're not listening, yo. And to say it drunk, like he even drunker than he was when Leon first showed up. So for to even call him a name that he just created is hilarious. So he was like, look, stop, you're not listening, yo. He said, so in this moment, I was like, okay, I see it from a different view now. I'm like, he says, I don't have any more chains on me. He's like, I'm finally free. He was like, I'm finally free, and I did it my way. So I was like, okay, I mean, I get it. But you just said you called the CIA, said if they don't leave you alone, you're going to start talking. So it's just like, how free are you? They can still come after your ass. But I get what he's saying. He like free. He peace of mind, I guess. He ain't got to worry about no... But do he? I don't... Yeah, I guess. He's free now. He said he finally free. And he did it his way. Not, he said, not your way, not anybody else's way, not the police's way, da-da-da. You know, he drunk, so he just saying that shit. In this moment, Franklin's eye done turned red and everything from being so drunk or whatever. Just... He looking Franklin in his face. He's like, Franklin. I mean, he said it was Leon. Franklin's face is his eyes super red. He looking at Leon's face. He's like, Leon. He's like, you're the best friend that I ever had. He was like, I'm so proud of you. And I'm just like, even though he drunk, he's saying all the right things. I'm just like, I'm so happy. I was so happy at the end. Even though it ended like this, like I'm so happy that they stayed on good terms. Because the way it started at the beginning of this episode, I didn't think it was going to happen like that. So you tell him, like, I'm proud of you, you're my best friend in the whole wide world, whatever. He started stumble walking away. And that's the end of Franklin Saint. And I was just like, Leon calls out to him, he like, Saint. And Franklin just ignores him. And that's just the end. And it's just like, oh, man, that's the end of Snowfall. I'm just so, like... It was so bittersweet, man. I'm going to miss this show, but it ended well. Franklin, he lost it all, man. He had 73 million and it was gone in one night. And everybody's gone. They didn't give no update about Sissy though. That's one thing they didn't. I mean, I guess she's still in jail because Leon was like, when the last time you saw her? But so at least she's still in jail living. She ain't get killed or nothing. So that's why I say I guess they are free. Because I feel like they would have died by now. Poor Ruben, he had to die, but I ain't got to get no predictions. And I grade this episode at A+ because it was the finale and we will not be watching Snowfall anymore. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. Please like this video. Share the video if you'd like. Hit the notification bell if you'd like so you can be alert as soon as I post something. And subscribe to my channel because I do review other shows. And now that Snowfall's gone off, you can check out some of my other videos of shows that I review. And, yeah, comment below what you would grade this finale, what you thought of the finale. Let me know if I missed anything. Yeah. Let me know what you thought of this, everything. Let me know what you thought about everything about Snowfall. Like, yeah. But, yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.